Vote, vote, vote.
We've been voting for decades, but nothing meaningful has been accomplished.
Speak on it, brother. Hey.
How has the experience of being black in America changed?
I lived Black history.
Amend, The Fight for America is a performance documentary that examines the revolutions and counter-revolutions that have shaped America.
I remember when Kennedy was shot. I remember when Martin Luther King was shot. We grew up with the Panthers. Things have changed so much.
Every day I have conversations with my children about the current events, things that are going on today, comparing them to years ago.
Pissing me off.
Black history as a child?
Yes and no.
Yeah. Should I be answering these questions right now? This is just an introduction. Were you taught Black history as a kid? I was taught yes and no. They don't go into detail. They tell you about the basic, Malcolm X, MLK, but they don't talk about like people behind the scenes or anything or black inventors. Bro, niggas invented the stoplights and everything. Like, they don't go into depth about how black people really were or how black people affected this world for real. You got to do your own research, especially in Nevada too. Like our in Vegas, our school system, we rank at like 44th, bro. They aren't teaching the black kids anything, let alone black history. So public schools are in the shitter. So you have to educate yourself, really. Like, I learned a lot of my education on YouTube, which is fucking sick.
They would, but it was always a whitewashed version of history. Like, oh, racism ended when the Civil Rights Movement was.
I was taught the bare minimum. Everyone learns about Martin Luther King.
There you go.
I honestly wish I learned a little bit more about slavery. Today, I'm looking forward to being
slavery was probably 10 times worse than what they taught us.
understood. A lot of the experiences that I have with older black people is, I'm the parent, you're the child, you don't have an opinion.
In my day, we had a consensus. We knew exactly what the priority was. Today's youth, consensus.
6'9". I'm sorry, those are my numbers. That's why my name is 9'6", you feel me? I always see 6s and 9s.
We knew exactly what the priority was. Today's youth, they have a lot of mixed messages. So I'm looking to hear what message is it that they're trying to get across. My name is Beverly Arrington.
I feel like I can speak on this topic. I'm pretty good
I'll
at
be
this.
70 years old.
Wow.
I have 3 children, 7 grandchildren, and 3 beautiful great-grandchildren.
You look amazing.
Thank you so much.
My name is Skip Townsend, 57 years old,
Skip.
Born and raised right here in Los Angeles.
Big Skip. Oh, I think he's a gang member. Well, a former gang member.
I'm the father of 12 children. I have 15 grandchildren. I have 1 great-grandbaby. I'm an advocate for peace. So I'm a domestic violence counselor, anger management, parenting.
I think I seen him on one of the other Middle Ground videos where he was talking about, I think it was Crips and Blood sitting down and talking to each other. That's why I was like, I think he was on that. If not, I don't want to put him in that because black men, get the violent,
Cynthia Singleton. I'm 74 years old. My main thing in retirement is I'm a coordinator for an intergenerational tutoring program for LAUSD, and I'm happy. I'm really fortunate. I have a good life.
Hi, I'm Alex Alexandra. I'm 17. I'm a high school student. I'm biracial, so it's hi, I'm Alex Alexandra.
And I'm happy. I'm really fortunate. I have a good life.
I'm not gonna cap this lady dresses like my mom.
Hi, I'm Alex Alexandra.
Go ahead, Auntie.
I'm a high school student. I'm biracial, so it's kind of hard for me to find my part of society. So I fight for literally everybody because I understand that we are extremely marginalized and we deserve better.
Go ahead,
My name
sis.
is Devin Hayden. I'm 17 years old. When I go to college, I hope to pursue a degree in political science because I feel as though there are not enough young people or black people in government.
Hello, I'm Bree. I'm in school. I go to FITM and I'm studying merchandising and marketing. I also work at a bakery, just getting me through college. But yeah, I'm just taking life one day at a time. I'm just trying to figure out my space in this world.
Can I get my grandparents on the right and my team's on the left. If you agree, step forward. If you disagree, stay back. My generation has had it harder than the other side.
Oh, hell no. Oh, damn. Hell yeah.
My first job was at a bank. They would use me as the
I
supervisor.
thought they was trying to say the new generation had it harder than the old generation. I'm like, hell no. But yeah. Older generation definitely had it harder.
But I was still making minimum wage. And then they promoted all of these other people.
I don't know if I can
who
say
were
it, man.
white. I
Damn.
didn't have any of the titles and did all the work. I was trusted
If you're black, I'm saying nigga a lot. Will they be mad if I say it with a hard ER?
to do the work. I wasn't trusted to get paid anymore.
I'm talking about YouTube
I
guidelines.
had a job, and they actually told me that
Let's
I
focus
looked
up.
too militant because I had a fro, and I was proud of my fro. And I had an Afro sticker on my car, and they told me in order to continue to work here, you have to get rid of the fro and get the Afro sticker off of your car.
What?
We had to toe the line and look the best, act the best in order to have any kind of advancement. Whereas now I think things are a little looser.
Hell yeah.
For me, I think being
I come in with my
14,
motherfucking
15
locks.
years
If you feel
younger
me?
than you.
If you don't like me wearing my locks, I ain't fucking working for you. I ain't fucking working with you. I ain't working for you. Nah, nigga, it's over. Shit, my locks is. This is my strength, bro.
My challenges were
Your
different.
hair
It
is
wasn't
your
about a
strength.
job. We couldn't go to the movies because the Crips had started. Because now we can't go to the park. Now when I go to
See?
school, there's a different
He was
element.
there.
So when my mother tells me to go to the store, and the store is maybe 2 blocks away, but I know just crossing that busy street puts me in danger, it'll make me go 6, 7 blocks the other way. And my whole world was not about get a high school diploma. I just want to get home every night. So it's just so many things that were dangerous in my growing up in the 1980s and 90s that I think that what the children have today is a silver or maybe even golden spoon.
Yeah, man, that's how I feel with like. I feel like that's how it's supposed to be, though. Like, in order to progress, things have to be easier for each generation to come. You feel me? That's the point of making progress. Or else it's like, what the fuck are we doing? We just regressing? What are we doing? You feel me?
Bring the golden spoon era in here.
Yeah, I completely
So,
agree
I
with
mean, y'all
everything
niggas
I
can
said,
have that.
and we can say that we've had a golden spoon in our mouths.
this
You guys
guy-
aren't wrong with that.
That's
I mean,
hard.
you guys definitely like paved the way for us. Or you're
Exactly.
just following in your footsteps almost. I do think that our generation has a lot of pressure on our career and education, and I
Yeah, our
appreciate
pressures
it.
are
It is
different.
very stressful. My parents want me to have a good job and go to a good school. My grandparents want the same, but it's because they want me to have what they didn't have.
I wholeheartedly agree that you guys had it way harder, but you guys were lucky in the point that you knew who the racists were. You knew the KKK was down the street over there. You knew because they was in your face with it.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
in
true.
the face of technology and the new age, people are way covert about it. They hide it.
They be
I've had
pussy about it, you feel me? It be them niggas in them world star hip hop comments, you feel me? I be in there too, talking my shit going off. Cause I know you niggas is doing the same shit behind the fucking N-word, N-word, F-word, F-word. It's just like, bro, do you just get off with just calling people slurs? Like, you a sick motherfucker, bro. It's really niggas that just, I don't know, bro. This world weird.
had somebody comment
You
monkey
lonely.
under my thing, and I didn't
You
know who it was.
lonely.
I'm only 17. I'm not prepared to have somebody on the internet who doesn't know who I am call me derogatory slurs or threaten to kill
See?
me. You know what it's like to experience overt racism.
Yeah.
I don't, but I need you guys in situations like that because I don't know what to do.
I do have to say one thing that I kind of disagree with. I feel as though the younger generation doesn't have as much guidance or a specific goal.
Exactly,
that you guys
bro. And it's just like the older generation, like my dad, is just like, you a good man, but you don't guide me. And it's just like, well, yeah, I don't have any guidance. Well, I didn't have any guidance when I was younger. So it's like, without that, what can you don't know what you're supposed to do in this world without some form of guidance, bro. So I understand.
You guys had people like Malcolm X. You guys had
Yeah.
people like Fred Hampton. You've had people like that. Who do we have? Obama,
Future?
maybe? We don't really have those.
Future! I'm not gonna say Vandross because he doesn't deserve that title. Like, I feel like that's very like a slap in the face of Luther Vandross to compare the two. But Future, Lil Uzi, Playboy Cardi, Diddy. Are these the niggas we looking up to? These celebrities that they don't have no message behind them, bruh. They only have a message when it's convenient.
Leaders to guide us in a certain direction.
Man, I love Malcolm X, man.
You are the leader.
That one night in Miami shit, oh my god. The movie was so good. Bro, we don't get many good movies. That shit was
People are going
spot
to tell
on,
you
bro.
that you have to aspire to be somewhere, but
Well, what I
Martin Luther King
think
Jr. and
spot on
Malcolm
shit.
X both died before they were 40. Be somewhere, but you are the leaders. People are going to tell you that you have to aspire to be somewhere, but Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X both died before they were 40. They were the leaders when they were your age. So you guys are the leaders. And who you hang around. See, I hung around Big Monster, Tiny Killer, Little Shooter, Baby One Punch.
Damn.
You guys not hanging around them. You're hanging around people who are inspired and motivated to do the same things you're doing. So the leaders are here. I don't think you recognize them because they're right next to you.
Wow. Big skip, bruh. Talk your shit, man. Talk your shit. Bro, I love talking to older dudes like that, bro. Niggas that like really inspire you to do something. And they see the potential in you that you didn't even know.
Protest should be peaceful.
Absolutely not.
I've seen in the 1992 riots and also in the recent uprisings that a lot of opportunists were there.
Yeah.
And it was the opportunity to tear up our own communities. The emotions, the drive, the passion creates something that turns violent, it turns ugly, and the rest of the world is able to see that there's a lack of control. Let's work on finding a solution rather than just destroying the community.
I think one of the greatest
Okay, I see that
examples
perspective.
is the bus boycott. The world runs on economics. It's all about the money. Hurt them in the wallet. You can march till you're blue in the face, but unless they're going to lose money, then it doesn't affect them as much as the bottom line does, that these people are going to actually stop buying our products. Affect the money, and I think you'll get a much longer reaching effect.
Okay, true. I see her point. I see both their points.
And you seem so peaceful.
I think when we were going through the Black Lives Matter protests this past year, you know, the peaceful protests were never seen. You know, we would see a 10-second clip of it and be like, oh, there was a peaceful protest an hour ago. Although I don't agree with violence, I don't want anyone to get killed or hurt. I do
Facts.
think that it brings a little bit more awareness to what we're fighting for.
I agree to an extent. I am a product of the Watts riots.
I think what she means, well, I'm gonna piggyback off of the younger girl's perspective real quick. I feel it definitely does bring not just a sense of awareness, but more of a sense of reality. Like, this shit could happen to anybody type shit, you feel me?
We lived at 115th and Central. Our friends were all in those riots. They'd knock on the door and tell my mother, hey, Miss Addie, keep the kids inside. Things are getting bad out here. I don't agree with everything that happened in the Watts riots because there was a lot of destruction. But the
Oh
Watts
God, down here in Vegas, that Black Lives Matter protest, one of these a cop got killed. So yeah, that shit real, bro.
riots are still referenced
I remember
today.
that.
My father always
Well, I think
said,
they say he
"Squeaky
shot
wheel
him."
gets the oil." But I don't want anybody to be hurt. I don't want to see a repeat of what we saw at the Capitol. None of us want to see any kind of nonsense like that.
Shit,
We want
wow.
to have a message with what you're doing.
Yeah, to some extent, I completely agree. But at the same time, I'm a wholehearted believer in civil disobedience. For example, the Founding Fathers, though I am very critical of them, they used violent tactics to get from Britain to be independent. This is just property damage. I don't really necessarily care if a building gets burned down, if a cop car gets burned down, because
exactly.
how many people have been killed by the hands of the police and nothing has happened?
Exactly. We talking about items and we talking about inanimate objects compared to a person's life, which is very real. You feel me? it's like apples to oranges. It's like fucking apples to fucking stereo.
The whole reason why people protest is because they're upset about something. Black people have
Out of the
every single
ballpark.
right to be upset. And I don't think that we would have got the killers of George Floyd convicted had we been out there just holding a sign, please convict. No, we need to apply pressure to the government. Because if they think that we're not gonna step up and take action and hold them accountable, they're not gonna do anything.
Okay, I'm gonna interject a thought since I'm the senior
up.
here. Believe this if you believe nothing else. What you do now will follow you for the rest of your life. This world is digitized, and you don't want to get in this man's system, because this brother can testify, once he gets you in that system, he will keep his foot on your neck, and you
Oh
will
my
never,
God.
ever hardly get free. Say you do something bad, you get arrested, how's that arrest record going to affect you for the rest of your life? I want people to think of long range.
Everywhere.
I think the Black Lives Matter
When they're
what
trying to
made
get a
me
job.
overjoyed, and I had tears because they got it. These kids finally got it. Vote, vote, vote. Protest, yes, but where's the power?
I definitely think that you should be voting, but we have to recognize how undemocratic our system is. We've been voting for decades. Nothing meaningful has been accomplished. There are still
is true.
disparities when it comes to education. There are still disparities when it comes to police brutality. There are still disparities when it
Nothing
comes to drug charges. These are all problems, and we've been voting, and it hasn't been working.
Okay, I hear you and I understand you, but you have to work within the system you live in. The system you live in is voting. And as you can see, Biden and Harris are in office. Voting put them there. Think about what you're doing, who it's affecting, and in the long range.
Nah, they just wanted Trump out of the White House because he was too erratic. They couldn't control him. He's not a puppet. Like, that nigga really real life crazy. That's why they wanted him out of here. But you feel me? Like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they ain't doing shit for black people either. This nigga said if you're, he said you're not black if you don't vote for him. I must be white as hell because what the fuck? I ain't vote for that nigga, bruh. I don't know how that nigga got up in that bitch. Goofy ass. This nigga, bro, he is so stupid.
Not just that one day, is what's the far-reaching effect of this?
What's the misconception people might have about you as a grandmother?
I think most people think that I'm mean. I know some of the girls where I work would say, she's mean, but boy, she'll get you out of trouble with the union. I'm very straightforward and I'm very blunt. I've always been, because I grew up in a family that was
Assertive.
very structured. It was a very religious family, and my parents believed in corporal punishment. And I'm glad, because it's ill in my adult life. I think it was a good thing. Hard when you're young. You
It
don't
just get me
understand
tight
it,
when people
but
really
in the long
be
run-
like, oh, you're mean. How? Oh my God.
I think it's a good thing.
I have dated people of another race.
I have not.
I couldn't get past a couple of dates because we went to Alvera Street, and lo and behold, we ran into all these brothers. And I just felt so uncomfortable. It's not the same for you as it is for us a long time ago. These were in the 60s. I just couldn't continue. And when I told him, I felt bad because he said, you're a racist. You won't date me because of my skin color. And I thought about it, and I said, yeah, that's deep.
That's
I've always
deep.
felt bad about that, but I just couldn't do it.
I mean, I'm in a relationship right now with a white person. If you like, like that. That's it. It shouldn't be a
Can
discussion.
I ask you something?
Yeah, of course.
When you go out and you see brothers, African American men, do they look at you different because you're with a white guy?
1,000%. Like I told him, people are gonna look at us, and they're not looking at you. They're looking at me because I'm with you. It doesn't make me uncomfortable, but I do see people staring.
I think even though I'm not a
You feel me? Like, me personally, I don't have any problems with somebody who's dating someone white. It really does nothing to me. Like, because I know who I'm going to date is going to be black. So, to me, I think it's just the understanding that white people have done so much shit to black people within the years. It's kind of like, your ancestors would abide by that type shit, but it's like, people gonna live their lives, man. It's 2021 now. I feel like, yeah, in order to progress, you gotta allow people to make their own decisions, man. That's free will. It's not your life. It's not your life, bruh. But I mean, if you can live with that shit, do it, bruh. Do it. I really don't care.
Against interracial dating, I think that if the child is black, that they should never lose that black culture and try to assimilate another culture. I have a problem and an issue with that.
I have an issue with like the white moms being racist towards their light-skinned kids.
So
That shit
I'm
piss me
obviously a product of an interracial relationship. My
So
mom
much
is
shit get me
Filipino,
tight,
my dad
bro.
is black. Watching my parents try to understand each other, and then me being a biracial person, like, it's really hard to bridge that gap because my mom is an immigrant from the Philippines. She doesn't know what the black experience is. I see the disparity in understanding. And in the same sense that my dad doesn't really understand what I go through. And I'm in a relationship with a black person right now. And it's so much simpler to explain, like, this is my experience as a black woman. This is what you will have to deal with. Police brutality if my child is dark skinned. But until this point, I've never encountered anyone
got
that
a
is willing to
dark-skinned
sit
dude.
down with me and be like, okay,
He
your
probably got
experience is
locks.
valid. We're going to get through it together. Because they completely
You be pounding her shit. Oh my god, let me stop.
sit down when you realize you have
You see where my mind goes? Like, what the fuck?
In 8th grade, I gave a speech
That's
to
black
about 5,000 people. It was for the promotion from 8th grade to 9th grade. And they were always telling me, oh, I'm so articulate. And I don't like that very much because I'm like, well, what does that mean, you know?
Sometimes I act white.
When someone says you act white, that's not a thing. That doesn't exist.
God.
It's more like a colloquial term that people use to refer to one power. When people refer to me as like, oh yeah, you talk white, you sound white, you dress white, they're referring to a higher status than my color, my skin color.
Ain't nobody gonna take me seriously if I spoke like this. If I went to a meeting and I spoke with like the little twang in your voice, they gonna think, oh, you one of them ghetto ones. You're the loud, angry black woman. So I have to present myself in a way that is consumable and acceptable to the people that I am presenting myself.
Damn! She just switched code twice. That shit, you can tell the difference too.
You being mixed has anything to do with that?
Asian people have this positive stereotype that they're
The model.
model minority myth, like you're the smart, you're the good minority. And if people see me as that Asian self and I distance myself from the blackness, which I've had to do before in order to give myself good opportunities, it's unfair.
It's sick as fuck.
It
Shouldn't
doesn't
have to water
apply to me.
yourself down.
My mother used to always tell me that I act black. So I had a hard time trying to get to the other side of that, and I don't think I ever reached it. I don't think I ever acted white.
Maybe I should have said agree. I do act professional in certain settings. Like I work in customer service. I have to raise my voice 3 octaves for people to think that I'm being respectful. And maybe people think I'm white over the phone. Maybe my name and my voice correlates. I could be white, but I never try to be white.
I think that I've heard the term, you're one of those educated black women. I love being professional. I love my education to shine. Love it. Can move in the other direction if made to do so. I can go south real quick.
I think that
Auntie.
people mistake being articulate and educated for trying to be white.
Yeah.
But I think our generation,
But black people are
that was
educated.
the norm. You strived every day to be intelligent.
Correct.
I'm gonna be blunt. You don't go out ashy, put that Vaseline on your
on the
legs and on
elbows.
your elbows. Don't go out with rollers in your hair. Are you crazy? We were taught you have to be better. You have to look better, you have to act better, you have to dress better.
now
You
we wear our
represent a whole
bonnets
group of people.
outside, baby.
And I think that ideology may be lost a little now when you go out. But we were trained to act the best we could act, not to use ebonics. You know, we had to survive. I don't look at it as a negative thing.
James Baldwin once said that whiteness is a metaphor for power. Black people are trying to get educated, trying to seek intelligence and knowledge to gain power in one way or another, whether it be economic power, whether it be culturally. We want to be recognized as human beings.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. All right, that was well said.
Speak on it, brother.
The most impactful event for me was being incarcerated in LA County Jail in 1998. I was wrongfully
that sounds
accused
terrible.
and treated unfairly, in particular because my father passed away while I was about to start a trial for 2 life sentences. And the reward that I got for my father passing away is I was put in a hole. The system didn't know what to do with me, so they put me in isolation. It was done to protect the other inmates because I might have been volatile and going through something and would have exploded, and that's definitely unfair. I think that the system needs to integrate some healthier procedures.
I have trauma.
I know he got trauma.
I would just say I have a lot of trauma with the cops. My dad always had run-ins. I was always in the car from a young age. And I just get immense anxiety, like passing a cop car, seeing a cop. When I first started driving, my parents had me put like my registration, everything like right above my head so I didn't have to reach, so I wouldn't get shot. When I get pulled over, I FaceTime my father. I have video. Like, it's stressful to be afraid of a cop on a daily basis, but that's what I gotta go through.
I watch Black people die on TV like it's a show for everyone to see. I watched George Floyd die in front of the entire world in my phone. That looked like my father to me. When I saw Breonna Taylor, I thought of my sister. When I saw Ahmaud Arbery, I saw my older brothers. It takes a toll on you to see that and to constantly understand that this is your reality. This could potentially be me. I've been assaulted and experienced microaggressions and have been harassed before, and you know, nobody really wants to talk about it because what do you say to like a 12-year-old girl who's just been, you know, sexualized? It's a painful conversation that a lot of people are not ready to have.
So acknowledging everything you guys said, I want to talk about PTSD, but not post-traumatic stress disorder. I want to talk about what you just said, which is present. It's happening right now. It's reoccurring trauma. I feel like I'm in a domestic violence relationship with law enforcement, with society, with the government. And at any moment, my life and my children's life are in danger. And you guys as well. Yeah. So it's not post-traumatic, it's present, it's right now.
Yeah, that's sad as hell. That's sad in the beach.
That's one of the blessings of growing old. You get control of your emotions more. So I don't think I'm as stressed as a lot of people over the things that are happening. They affect me, but I know that I can't control it. So what is that going to cost me in the long run if I lose myself and my health? And everybody doesn't have that luxury to be able to do that. And I understand that. And because
I'm sorry, Auntie, but now I'm looking at you like if Harriet Tubman would have told you, hey, we about to leave, you'd be like, nah, son, I'm staying.
I think 2 things happened to me when I was a younger woman in my 20s.
That's how I'm looking at her now.
30s, 40s.
Take that, man.
My son was shot and killed on the street, a drive-by shooting, and 2 years later, my husband committed suicide.
Oh.
So you realize you can't control.
Well, now I got to take back what I said.
But you can control how you react to it, and you've got to get yourself under control, or you will lose yourself. So I guess in a way, I have what do you call it?
PTSD.
PTSD, yeah. So I seem very composed, I seem very cool. It's because you have to be to survive.
What the fuck? I didn't mute it? Anyways. Well, it kind of just proves the point that you do have trauma. You're just hiding it. So you should have agreed. Oh shit, why am I laughing? Yeah, you should have agreed. So you have trauma.
You have to. It's all about surviving.
Generational trauma.
That's sad as fuck though.
That's
Rest in peace to her family.
Post-slavery trauma went into my grandparents.
I have unsolved problems, okay? I laugh when I'm uncomfortable.
Right, who taught my mother, and my mother taught me. It's really important to know that it has been passed on. My mother beat me because her mother beat her.
Yes.
Her mother beat her because her mother beat her.
Yes.
Because they did not want the masters on the plantations to beat their children. So they said, no, beg them, please, no, I'm gonna teach them. And they get a whip and go beat their own kids so that someone else wouldn't. And this is passed down. This is handed down to me,
That's
even
what
where, I said I have 12 children. Well, 7 of the oldest ones, they too got beatings, where the last 5, they got talking tos, they got timeouts, and we go sit on the porch. It's a different concept, and it is definitely handed down.
Yeah,
So it
I
goes
agree.
back all the way to slavery.
I would take it back to
That's crazy.
pre-slavery.
Adding on to
Damn.
what you say, that's
That's
kind of why a
crazy.
lot of stress-induced illnesses, it runs in Black families, is because we're constantly under this pressure and stress. Mental health isn't something that Black people can afford to deal with because you have a whole bunch of other issues to deal with in the day-to-day life. You can't afford to go see a therapist because you got to get them bills paid.
Right.
And I just want to say that we were told you will deal with things that you've never dealt with before, so you're going to have to, find your way. And just dealt with it maybe very privately, or go to church and listen to the sermons, and let the pastor tell us, what's all this stuff that's going on.
Yes, a lot of people went to church and dealt with stuff. Other people went outside the liquor store. So Mad Dog 2020, Cisco, St. Ives, Old English became the healing. They dealt with it through alcohol or substance abuse.
Black people are resilient.
Oh, without a doubt.
I can even speed up for that one.
Easy.
Hey, you better run to your seats, guys.
Softball question.
I am a strong Black woman, and I would not be here today if I wasn't.
I am a strong Black woman as well, because I am willing to take on anything that affects my family, affects the things that I believe in.
I'm a strong Black man, and I know that because of all the obstacles and challenges that I had to
Yeah.
face, not only with
You had to get
society,
through
but I had to
hurdles.
face the challenges within my own community.
He was convicted, bro. Once you're convicted, bro, them hurdles become damn near mountains, bro. That's just crazy.
resilient because I have the power to harm or to heal. And at this time, I
Salute
choose
to
to
dog.
heal. I'm resilient.
Power to you.
My great-grandmother was a slave, so it taught my grandfather how to be resilient, how my mom and me. So we've been taught since we were born, like, how to be resilient. And it's a powerful trait to have, I'll say.
That's true.
Every obstacle, all the turmoil we've had to overcome, it's amazing that we're all sitting here right now. Us as a people are one of the most resilient people that have walked this earth.
We've been beaten down, we've been assaulted, we've been torn down in ways I don't even think humanity could even comprehend, and yet we still get up every single time. I'm still going to sit here for hours and listen to you guys tell your stories so that my son or daughter won't have to go through that again. I want it to end here. We all deserve better.
Well, I want to say that I apologize to you guys because I was expecting, I was expecting y'all to be sagging. I was expecting you to be combing your hair, you're hitting on your phone and stuff. So I apologize because I had a misconception, but I had no idea who you were going to be. And you guys really are the leaders. So I'm honored and humbled to be in your presence today. Thank you guys for being here because you put something in me.
Damn. It's a wrap, nigga. I don't have my raps. Okay. Alright, man. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe. The link to the original video will be in the description. Follow my Instagram, my Twitch. Sub, man. More content. And on that note, it's a wrap. Peace.